ជំរាបសួរអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នា So I would like to greet excellencies and national and international participants and honorable speakers and distinguished guests from Cambodia and around the globe. My name is Chaidan. I am one of the moderators of the conference which held for 3 days from the 21st to the 23rd December 2020. So I am very happy and proud of welcoming all of you to the Cambodia, the first international online conference on mentoring educators. Under the theme of mentoring and professional development for educators. Precisely, the conference is organized by New Generation Pedagogical Research Center. And additionally, the conference aims to discuss the various modalities and opportunity to mentor educators and help them develop their competencies. At the same time, researchers, advisors, and teacher trainers and consultants from Cambodia and around the world are invited to join us in Cambodia to share knowledges and experience with developing communities. So for the first presentation of plenary sessions, we are going to watch the pre-recorded video of Her Excellency Tina Redshaw, ambassador from British Embassy based in Cambodia. Her video is going to show us insightful speech of mentoring educators. Okay, so before watching her video, I would like to inform the participants that your microphones has to be muted by default, and please kindly use appropriate manner of background when you turn on your video, and please use headset to listen to the presentation clearly. Okay, so hopefully the conference and Her Excellency's speech will bring you the additional experience and knowledge to the participants. And actually, the conference is expected that it is the occasion to promote and initiate the international collaboration among participants. So I would like to invite Excellencies, honorable guests, and distinguished participants and speakers join us watching Her Excellency video together. Thank you.
Chumrip Sua Tiao Kania. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tina Redshaw and I'm the British Ambassador to the Kingdom of Cambodia. I'm delighted to be able to present to you today at Cambodia's first international conference on mentoring educators. I'd like to thank the organisers and the sponsors of the event for making it happen. I'd like to share with you 3 reflections on the approach of the UK to help stimulate the discussion afterwards. Firstly, why the UK believes that education and a focus on educators is so important. Secondly, what the UK is doing both in Cambodia and beyond to raise standards. And finally, my reflections on the way forward in a Cambodian context. You will all, I'm sure, agree that education is the cornerstone of a prosperous society, and there is more than enough evidence proving that ensuring girls in particular get an education is absolutely vital to the economy. Quality education is a moral and economic imperative. Yet still today, over 75% of children in lower middle income countries are not expected to read or do basic maths by the end of primary school. Given education often makes up 15 to 20% of government spending, this is a tragic waste of resources. We know that each additional year of schooling typically results in a 10% boost in earnings, with larger increases in the case of girls. The UK has taken a global leadership role and invests over $1 billion a year in education overseas. including as the largest bilateral partner of the Global Partnership for Education and in launching the Girls' Education Challenge. The UK's approach to improving education is by investing in early years education in particular. We have three global priorities. Firstly, backing system reform, which delivers results in the classroom to give the teachers the best chance for success. Secondly, stepping up targeted support to the most marginalised, including children with disabilities, children affected by crises, and hard-to-reach girls. Lastly, and most relevant for today's session, investing in quality teaching. We know that teaching quality is the single most important factor affecting learning in schools. Unfortunately, many teachers don't have the knowledge or skills to do their jobs properly, and too often are absent or in unworkable teaching conditions. Our approach is to work with decision makers to train, recruit, and motivate teachers, not just at the start of their teaching journeys, but throughout their whole careers. Teachers are themselves often a product of a failing system. Many countries are caught in a vicious cycle where poorly educated students become teachers. Governments are unable to recruit the best, given tough working conditions, long working hours, stigma, uncompetitive pay, and a lack of professional development. This is even more worrying when by 2030, countries need to recruit 69 million more teachers to achieve education for all. So the challenge is clear, but it's not insurmountable. Our evidence base recognises that each country is different and at a different stage of development. But there are some underlying factors that are consistent in the development of all teachers everywhere. Teachers need experience in the classroom, and they need ongoing school-based support. A teacher is not fully equipped straight out of school or college. An assessment of teachers' knowledge and performance is as important as their credentials. Assessment needs to be continuous so that remedial action can take place during the course of a teacher's career. A teacher won't know the latest thinking on classroom management without career-long mentorship. Teacher training needs to be context-specific, so the most marginalised in societies can be included with appropriate technologies and teaching materials available to them. Teachers need high-quality teaching materials that work for the class size, for their class settings, and the technology. Shaking up recruitment practices to attract a diverse group of candidates is also essential. And lastly, resetting how professional development and incentives are designed with improved career pathways. There are three threads within these factors that get repeated over and over again. Firstly, professional development as a lifelong pursuit. Professionals across all sectors, including me as an ambassador, have continuous learning needs. We shouldn't expect teachers not to have the same. Secondly, the importance of practical experience-based mentorship that builds on taught theory. Thirdly, you only get out what you put in. The inputs for a teacher's career need to be of high quality. The curriculum being taught, the materials they have access to, the trainers, and the mentorship provided needs to be of high quality. In Cambodia, the UK has supplemented the work funded by the Global Partnership for Education, of which Cambodia has received over $100 million in recent years, by focusing on targeted interventions that inspire and motivate teachers, particularly in STEM subjects. The STEM bus, for example, toured Cambodia's provinces, offering access to science experiments in high schools. We partnered with CEN, the Khmer NGO for Education, and the Department for Education to provide workshops for a group of female teachers on school-based management and leadership. We partnered with IT STEP Academy to run boot camps and produce materials on the digital economy, providing teachers real-life application for their classroom teaching. These projects are designed to give teachers additional tools beyond the classroom and to inspire students to demand teachers to develop adequate and high-quality course materials. I also mentored a group of young professionals for 6 months. They were not teachers, but they were, whether they knew it or not, educators. Professionals working in government, NGOs, or as entrepreneurs who in their everyday interactions act as role models and thus educators of their colleagues, their customers, and all those they seek to benefit. I'd like to end by sharing a few reflections on the future. Cambodia has come a long way in recent decades. Students today receive an education drastically different than their parents did. However, there are still obstacles to overcome before we see the transformational changes required to take Cambodia to the next stage of development. Teaching is still not an attractive career for the brightest Cambodian students. The offer is simply not enticing. A clear career path with job security, professional development, and positive working conditions can start the ball rolling. People react to incentives. Incentives need to promote professional development and student-centred teaching. The demand needs to come from teachers and from the authorities. Investing in teaching is not just investing in teachers, but it's investing in school management and providers of the professional development for those teachers. Finally, talent needs to be nurtured over the long term. Teachers who are invested in throughout their career need to be encouraged, even incentivised, to mentor their next generation of teachers. The UK invests in teaching across the world. It's a long-term priority that needs long-term solutions. I will leave you with a quote by British educationalist Dylan Williams. Every teacher needs to improve, not because they're not good enough, but because they can be even better. Au contraire.
Thank you so much, Her Excellency Tana Redshaw, that has given a meaningful speech and reflection. So personally, I hope that her reflection will be an additional knowledge and experience for educators and mentors.